Well, Kanhaiya Lal and Umesh Kole were killed in cold blood for beliefs they held. Their support to Nupur Sharma was used as a meek excuse to further the agenda of hate, and the planning and execution of the killings is becoming clearer with each passing day. And yet 5 days ago, the Supreme Court observed that suspended BJP spokesperson Nupur Sharma was single-handedly responsible for what is happening in the country. Today, concerned citizens from across the country, including 15 retired judges, 25 armed police officers and more than 70 bureaucrats, have written an open letter to challenge the observations of the Supreme Court. In that open letter, they have called the observations unfortunate, saying that it leaves an indelible scar on the judicial system. Now, this open letter comes in response to the scathing observations that were made by Justice Suryakant and Justice Pardiwala on the 1st of July. They denied relief to Nupur Sharma and refused to transfer FIRs against her to Delhi because they held her solely responsible for the situation in the country. So is this a case or where the citizens are standing up and saying that free speech remains free irrespective of even what the courts state? Where does this matter stand legally? Joining us, Tushar Gupta continues to stay with us. Sunny Dhiman also stays with us. Tauseef Ur Rehman, political analyst, and Professor Manojit Mandal stay with us. But I want to first go across to Major Generals Dhruv Katoch and Major General Sanjay Soi. General Soi, I first want to start with you. Why did you think it was important to be a part of this open letter?
Padmaja, in fact, if you see this, that I, as a soldier, I feel that probably it is a responsibility that the democracy of any country, the democracy of India should remain intact. And in fact, it all depends on the constitution. The court, Supreme Court, is one of the institutions which is respected by all, which has to be, and whatever they say, whatever a statement is made by the Supreme Court, whatever decision is given by the Supreme Court, it has a meaning. It cannot be taken lightly. So the thing is, we felt disturbed that the openness, the kind of responsibility which had been heaped upon Nupur Sharma for the everything going wrong in the country, because I feel that the things were building up over a period of time. The radicalization of the Islamists, some elements were being pumped in, were being trained, were being, sleeper cells were being activated, and I feel that this is not, single lady cannot cause, this kind of statement cannot cause so much of uproar across the country. There's something more to it. We need to search, we need to see the links behind it. What's happening, what kind of support these people are getting who are fighting it out, who are doing this kind of activities. Are they connected to the Pakistan? Is the ISI training them? They have gone to the Pakistan and they have come totally radicalized. The militant organization, the terrorist organizations are supporting them. So this is a thing we need to take care of. We need to understand the bigger picture which is happening, that the Pakistan, some other countries, our neighbors, are trying to create a difference within the India, unrest within the India, spoil the image of the India. That's the bigger picture which is happening, and we as a from your channel, because I know that people who watch your channel, everybody is across India, have understand logic. We need to understand the logic. We need to understand that everybody, whether it is a Hindu or Muslim, they have to criticize the kind of violence which is taking place. And I must say that this is only very small percentage of radical Muslims. Very small percentage. The most of the Muslims are still that patriotic Muslims, have no doubt in their patriotism, and the designs of the Pakistan, design of some of these countries, militant organizations will fail miserably. That is, I am very, very confident about it.
Okay, so basically it was your conscience which could not take comments like this. Tauseef Ur Rehman. The letter also says that the observations on other agencies in the countries without notice on them are indeed worrisome and alarming. In the annals of judiciary, the unfortunate comments have no parallel and are an indelible scar on justice system of the largest democracy. Urgent rectification steps are called for, as these have potentially serious consequences on democratic values and security of the country. Tauseef Ur Rehman.
Padmaja, Fortunately and unfortunately, our opinion and our thoughts, they don't count inside the courtroom. You know, and it's very unfortunate that this intellectual people, 117 people are coming forward in the support of Nupur Sharma, stating that she is a woman and she can't handle single... I mean, this is ridiculous. Where were these intellectuals when Maslum Ansari, Imtiaz Khan, Akhlaq and even Kanhaiya died? No one said anything. These people were not there. They were just targeting those two Muslims that, oh, उन्होंने हत्या कर दिया, उनका terrorist activities है, पाकिस्तान से connection है. नहीं, आपको इंसानियत के बारे तो आपने कुछ नहीं बोला. वो 117 लोग आज आप नुपुर शर्मा को लेके और अभी
Is that true, General Katoch?
He was saying,
you're being asked where were you when others were killed?
He just said, no, sir, Padmaja, this man,
right.
my
Let him
previous
stop, then I'll
minister,
start.
he said that, you know, it is very fortunate that these people are coming here and there, but where was this guy? You know, when Akhlaq died, when Maslum Ansari died, when Pehlu Khan
Right.
died, no intellectuals were there. No
Okay, let General Katoch answer for himself. Where were you, General Katoch? Where were you?
Right. Now, Padmaja, I would like to correct this gentleman's facts. Firstly, the other panelist was a general officer of the Indian Army. He can't just say that fellow. That is one. Number two, when any act of violence has taken place in India, we have condemned it. We are the only organization which condemns all acts of violence. And I'm afraid that is not happening across the board. It is these groups like the fellow panelists who just spoke before me who are very selective in their approach. I have never been selective. I have condemned every violence which has taken place in this country, including this one. But I want to get down to the larger point of this, why we wrote this letter. And I think it's important to understand why we wrote that letter. One, I think this is neither a justification nor an indictment of Nupur Sharma. Nupur Sharma is not part of what this letter talks about. It is specifically on the statement made by two honorable judges of the Supreme Court. Now, having said that, I would also like to say that being an army personnel and being fully aware of what I'm saying, the Supreme Court is held in great reverence by everybody in India, including the armed forces. It's also held in great reverence across the world. Now, this obiter dicta, unfortunately, which was given, I know it's not part of the judgment, but when this obiter dicta was given, two things stand out. One, they have given a justification to murder. That is what I'm really concerned about. In your last program which you held just before this one, there were panelists who were saying the Supreme Court has justified it. Now, I'm not saying the Supreme Court justified it, the judges didn't justify it, but that is the perception which every radical Muslim in this country will now quote, including the fellows on this panel. All radicalized Muslims will start quoting this, and I think
Tauseef Ur Rehman, respond to that.
Because you have given wings to people to commit murder.
Sir, will you count Nupur Sharma as a radical Hindu? Sir, sir, please answer me. Sir, what is more important?
My dear sir, we are not discussing Nupur Sharma. And will you tell me who has Nupur Sharma killed till date? Has Nupur Sharma killed anybody? But you people have killed. So stop talking about Nupur Sharma. No. Now I want to talk about the radicalization. The radicalization. Padmaja, could you tell him to keep quiet?
Just a second, Tauseef Ur Rehman, the argument is this violates the principle of natural justice. It is not about saying that this murder and that murder. It is simply saying that do not whitewash a murder and do not violate principle of natural justice, Mr. Rehman.
The Supreme Court said very clearly, why are you supporting Nupur Sharma then?
Yes, now...
why are you supporting Nupur Sharma, sir? I want to ask you, why are you supporting Nupur Sharma?
He is not supporting Nupur Sharma. He is supporting her right to natural justice.
No.
You don't believe in Supreme Court, you don't believe in preamble, you don't believe in Constitution.
General Katoch.
I made it very clear, this is not about Nupur Sharma. This is about the judgment given by the Supreme Court, the two honorable judges. Now, they have said Nupur Sharma is responsible. May I permit, to a very vast audience, I would like to state, radicalization in India started, Muslim radicalization started in the mid-60s. And that is what led to the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus in 1990. Nupur Sharma has nothing to do with it. And now, but for the judges to state that Nupur Sharma is the sole cause, so one human being, this one simple girl has caused all the mayhem in this country. I think we are stretching truth a bit too far.
Okay, I'll let Tauseef Ur Rehman respond to that, General Katoch, and then I want to bring in Sunny Dhiman who wants to respond.
Everything to do with what has been stated by the court.
No, sir, kudos to you, sir. Kudos to you. So the radicalization, the Islamophobia is only with the Muslim minorities and the minorities. So there is no radicalization with the Hindus.
Yes, that is
and
true.
People like Nupur Sharma.
That is true.
But right. Just because she's a part of BJP, you have no audacity, you have no capability, and you have no capacity to go and say that whatever Nupur Sharma quoted is totally wrong.
So, no, so let us, the day, you see, we have got very, the day the moderate Muslims get up and stand against.
Sir, my only one question. Did Nupur Sharma, whatever she quoted was wrong or right?
Take it from me. Because all radicalized Muslims have got no place in the society. We
sir,
are a democratic country.
Sir.
We are not governed by Sharia.
Is Nupur Sharma right or wrong?
The Constitution of India.
Tauseef Ur Rehman, so here's the thing. That issue also is sub judice, and we cannot decide it in a court of public opinion. Whether she was wrong or not will be decided by the court, and the Supreme Court, which is what is being argued here, has denied her that basic principle of natural justice, Sunny Dhiman. It is the basic. Let the courts eventually rule. But one, to say that she is single-handedly responsible for setting the country afire, and second, that what she did led to the Udaipur beheading, is what has stirred the conscience of 117 Indian citizens who are saying, no, my lord.
Padmaja, I will not call these people respected people
don't say
who
that.
have written this open letter.
No. I'm sorry, then I'm going to have to cut you off. You are not here to cast personal aspersions, sir. You are being respectfully addressed. Please be respectful. I'm going to say that right at the outset. This is not that Machli Bazaar where we are going to do call names to people.
Ex-official whatsoever.
Yes.
Respected citizens first. Second, it would have been highly gracious if because sir was in army, if he would have mentioned Prime Minister that why he is not talking about China who has captured our land. Forget about it. I will not call him as BJP used to call people के ये तो award वापसी वाले लोग हैं, मैं वो भी नहीं कहूँगा, पर मैं ये जरूर कहूँगा कि भारत का पहला आतंकवादी जिस हिंदुत्ववादी था जिसने महात्मा गांधी की हत्या करी, and I believe that radical Islam, radical Sikhism, radical Hindutva, everything, every religious radicalization is against the ethos of India, the idea of India. And he should also talk about the radicalization.
Sir, that is not the point. The point of the letter is very different. The point of the letter is specific to what the Supreme Court has observed, not ordered. The letter is specific to saying that please do not try and give a clean chit to murderers, and the letter is specific to saying please do not blame an unrelated woman for a beheading that has taken place at the hands of radicals who are admitting to it.
I'm really sorry. This woman belongs to RSS who killed Mahatma Gandhi, and this is not unrelated woman. She is not single-handedly
She is not related to what happened in Udaipur.
The organization which is protecting
the people who beheaded have made it clear why they are beheading.
They killed Mahatma Gandhi. She is not single-handedly responsible. She is not single-handedly responsible. It is the organization which is protecting her, people like her. That's it.
What are you talking about?
That is. And if the honorable, the honorable ex-official is not talking about the radical Hindutva organization,
because the Supreme Court did not talk about it, bhai. Where are you taking this?
I'm really sorry.
Discussion किसी चीज पे हो रहा है, पता नहीं आप महात्मा गांधी पे कहां से पहुंच गए? The people have limited themselves to commenting on what the Supreme Court observed.
अकेली जिम्मेदार नहीं है.
Okay, Tushar Gupta, please respond. Then I want to go back to General Soi.
Padmaja, can I?
Yes, Tushar Gupta.
you know, Padmaja, these, chup rahiye ek minute, suniye. These shameless apologists will use every opportunity to whitewash what happened in Amravati and Udaipur. But let's talk about the importance of the letter by some celebrated people, including some decorated officers. The Supreme Court could have lambasted Nupur Sharma for her remarks. They had all the right to do so. Even in their observation, they had all the right to lambast Nupur Sharma for her remarks. But at the same time, what the apex court should have done, they should have also told everyone that at the end of the day, the law will take its course. Nupur Sharma has the right to natural justice, which is the right to every citizen in India. That is where the Supreme Court made a big error. The Supreme Court could have called out the difference between fanaticism and political bickering. It did not. The Supreme Court could have called out the writing, the comments made against the shivling. It did not. One of the other disturbing observations of the Supreme Court, Padmaja, was that the TV anchor should have been filed an FIR against. Is the judiciary of this country now going to tell how to conduct TV debates? Is the judiciary of this country going to tell us what subjects to be picked for TV debates and what not? This is why this letter is important. It's not about supporting Nupur Sharma or not supporting Nupur Sharma. It's merely emphasizing that you cannot link Nupur Sharma to every crime that is being committed today in the name of religion. There is no cause and effect here.
Professor Mandal.
The apex code, unfortunately.
You're right, and it's not just about Nupur Sharma, it is about basic fundamental principles, like Tushar Gupta said, of freedom of speech. What are we allowed to talk about? How do we talk about issues?
बोल सकता हूँ क्या?
हाँ जी बोलिए, Professor Mandal.
No, it's fine that these honorable people are writing letters, but what was they doing when Tista Setalvat was arrested for the same reason, because of the Supreme Court judgment in a 20-year-old case? Did they write letters? So this is selective, and that's why people are suspicious about these letters.
But Professor Mandal, the two cases are apples and oranges.
Yeah,
Tista Setalvad was arrested after a 20-year-long case went on through every single level. It went from a trial court, it went to the SIT, and SIT had a report, the report was challenged, then it went in review, and then finally Tista Setalvad was arrested. But she was given the full gamut of legal remedies. People are now asking, doesn't Nupur Sharma deserve the full gamut of legal remedies?
If Tista Setalvad should be behind, what is your problem?
Because you are making an apples and oranges comparison.
बोलने नहीं देते हो, एक आदमी को बुरा पूरा बोलने देते हो, मेरे को एक सेंटेंस तो बोलने दो. What is it? So Tista Setalvad, if she is arrested, why Nupur Sharma is not arrested? The Supreme Court is also saying
General
the same thing.
Why is your conscience not pricked about Tista Setalvad but Nupur Sharma?
Arrested, justified.
Okay.
Nupur Sharma is shielded by BJP. Is also justified.
Okay, General Soi, respond to that.
Yeah, I will say that there's nothing to do, like we as a concerned citizen, our focus was only on the constitutional right, fundamental rights of any citizen. I would like to read the last para, that Honorable Supreme Court, instead of safeguarding the fundamental rights of the petitioner, refused to take cognizance of the petition and forced the petitioner to withdraw the petition and approach appropriate forum, High Court, knowing fully well that High Court does not have the jurisdiction to transfer club the FIR's cases against register against her in other states. That is why we feel that we fail to understand why Nupur's case is treated at a different pedestal. Such a approach of the High Court, Honorable High Court, deserves no applause and impacts the very sanctity and honor of the highest court of the land. That is where we requested the Supreme Court, that is where we feel that cognizance of this action need to be taken, that ultimately whatever happens, the law will take its course The court will decide whether whatever action has to be taken. But the fundamental rights, the basic right has to be protected of any citizen. And it has happened in the past when the people were about to be hanged and they were given a chance by opening courts in the midnight.
Absolutely,
and know that
and if citizens of the country cannot,
where I just wanted to draw the attention,
cannot appeal to the highest keeper of our collective conscience, which is the Supreme Court, then who do you go to? We'll just leave it at that. Thanks very much, all gentlemen, and especially to General Katoch and General Soi for speaking up. Thanks for watching.
The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.
Water, induced with immunity of vitamin C.
Introducing Faber Seaguard, RO with vitamin C filter. Now water provides immunity.
Where the software engineer meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the gifted content writer. To create the big dream, the world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you? You're watching the News Hour at 10. The News Hour at 10 will be right back after the break.